What's up, and welcome to Surging Ahead. This is Brett, and today I want to talk about user interfaces, and specifically Elon Musk's recent comments about how UI is error. Is he right? Is he wrong? Is there a middle ground somewhere in between? Well, stick around, and let's dig right in. Alright, so let's start off by digging into one of Elon's most recent tweets expressing his opinion on this matter. And it stems from a fan-made tweet, or a tweet from Tesla Roddy that said, "Fan-made Tesla custom V11 UI concept shows how simple it would be to address one of drivers' biggest complaints." To which Elon Musk replies, "Almost all input is error. Car should do the right thing automatically." This is far from the first time in which Elon Musk has made this type of statement. He said it about door handles on the Cybertruck. He has said it about UI in the past. And I think that online services have shown that it is valuable to understand your audience and to make information available directly to that person, right? The YouTube algorithm probably brought this video to you because you're interested in Tesla, right? It knows your preferences and it shows things that you might be interested in. But what's important here is they still give, at least in my mind, what's important here is they still give the person watching the videos some choice. You still get that list of videos across, and you click on a video that seems interesting to you, which does in fact help improve the algorithm, but also it gives you some sense of agency over what you're doing. I rankle at the idea of things automatically choosing for me. I don't like that idea. I want to feel like I am, at least in some aspect, in control of what I'm doing. And when we bring this back to Teslas, right, and we want to talk about the automatic on heated seats, right? Well, just because 70% of people prefer their heated seat at a certain temperature doesn't mean I do. I want some agency in this, right? And I get that you want to expose things and to have the smart car do things to make your life easier, but as it's making those decisions or those recommendations, I want it to forward that information so I can override it. When my car currently, which does not have full self-driving because of random events, which I've talked about many times, eventually will, hopefully, regardless, on Navigate on Autopilot, it will say, hey, you should change lanes here. And then I get to choose, and it presents it right there to accept its lane change option or to override it. It knows it's making that decision and that suggestion, and it brings it forward and gives me that choice to say yes or no. And when things are doing that and presenting those options and trying to make choices for you, then it gets a little more hairy. If the car were just to decide to make lane changes all the time, which it probably does in full self-driving, and I hope it does a better job than it does in NOA, that's fine. It better be there, but I want that override option, at least today. And eventually, maybe the car is driving itself, and I'm completely okay with that, but I'm still making my music selections. I still want to make this choice of, does my seat need to be warm now? How hot do I want the cabin? I don't want it to say, well, most people prefer their cabin to be 72 degrees. Maybe I want 71 or 69. Or, whatever the number is. I want those options. And that's what good UI is. Good UI is exposing what the person needs when they need it. It's not error. Good UI is choice, right? At least that's in my opinion. Now, I want the smarts underneath to make suggestions based on where we're looking at. And that's what a smart vehicle should do, in my opinion. It should make suggestions based on history it has on you and history it has on other drivers, to know that a lot of people may prefer this option at this time, but I don't want that choice taken away or that choice to be buried 15 menu options deep, because I want to make those choices a lot of times. And maybe eventually it does get there, but I'm sorry, Elon, your cars aren't there yet. They make a lot of bad choices in a lot of times. And one of the reasons I was most attracted to Tesla in the first place was UI. It was the fact that you had software developers working on this car and updating it and making it feel modern and feel good on a day-to-day basis. And if you're going to slough that, if you're going to say this no longer matters and the car should do everything for you, well, that's probably going to push me towards another automaker. And it's probably not going to be the legacy automakers, but it might be a Rivian or a Lucid or someone else like that who has decided that UI and the user experience in a vehicle is important. And this isn't just about the center screen and V11, because I know people are going to complain no matter what you do as far as changes go there, whether they're good or bad. But this also goes down to physical hardware. If the Cybertruck releases without door handles, I think that's a mistake. Not every person walks straight up to the driver's door to get in. Probably 70% of people do. But a small percentage, such as myself, is going to be walking up, probably at least half of the time, to the back doors, opening those up, and putting my children inside before I get into the vehicle. So is the car always going to recognize this? Is it always going to be right? I know my Model X right now has walk up to open the door, but boy, when I walk up to open that door, it doesn't do it immediately. And most of the times, I'm pushing the button. In fact, almost the only time my door ever opens is when I don't want it to, and I'm loading the kids in, and it almost hits me. So, I don't know. You hear complaints all the time from people who own cars that don't have that rain sensor in there, that the auto wipers are terrible. You hear complaints all the time from people who don't have the sensors that are complaining that the auto brights are terrible. And you know, I have an older vehicle, so I have sensors specifically for these purposes, and it probably does a better job in my car. But yet, I still don't leave auto brights on because sometimes I feel like it's just going to blind people, and it does it all the time. I don't want my brights coming on when I'm in the city. I only really want them coming on when I'm on a 2-lane highway. I don't want them on the interstate. It's just, I want choice, and I think other people want choice too. And it keeps coming up and coming up where Elon Musk wants to delete choice and delete simplicities in a car to either look better, more futuristic, or I don't know why for some of these reasons. I don't know why he wants to get rid of door handles. Is it cutting costs? I don't know why in the Model S they decided to get rid of the blinker stocks and stuff. Those buttons don't seem more intuitive. They don't seem more natural. It almost has to be cost cutting. But in a car this expensive as a Model S, surely you could have left those features in. I think they make for a better experience. I haven't driven the yoke. I don't know what the yoke's like. But I know the turn signals, from many people's opinions that I've read, have been, at best, controversial. Right? There are people who enjoy them, but it seems like most people who get them are questioning why that choice was made. And I guess I'm one of those people too. So when you look across the board, I really don't understand why Elon finds all choice to be error. Or not all, but most choice to be error. I want my car to make suggestions to me, to be an assistant, a helper, but I still want to feel like I'm in control most of the time. And I will give up things to the vehicle as it gets better at doing that. I am fully on board with my car eventually becoming level 5 and driving me everywhere. Cross my fingers, right? But I still want to make my music selections. I still want to be in control of the temperature of the car. I want to be able to select when my heated seat should be on or off. Yeah, things like that. Things that really are personal preferences, I want to be in control of, at least to some aspect. And I'm not sure I want to give Tesla the information it would require for them to truly know me well enough to be able to completely take over my music selection and stuff like that. And even if they get there, I'm going to bristle at that. If they're going to tell me I want to listen to this, well, I'm probably going to say, no, I don't. Because I'm obstinate sometimes, right? And I know a lot of us are. We like that choice. We like the ability to control things. And once again, one of the things I felt Tesla did best early on was make UIs that gave you that control. That put the information where you needed it, when you needed it. And the Model 3 is a great example of this, right? You select a steering wheel and it changes those controls in front of you to control that steering wheel. That was good UI. Would I have rather had a steering wheel adjustment on the steering wheel? Probably. But I can understand eliminating things if you're going to make it easy to control things. When you start burying things further and further down a menu that are natural choices and things you want to control, rather than making it contextual, when I turn on the car, if it's going to turn on that heated seat, pop up a button, say, hey, heated seat's on, you want that off? Right? I don't know. Keep that information in a place that you want it. If you're going to do smart exposures and smart decision making, make sure when those decisions are made, you give the user the ability to override them. That's my personal belief. I don't think that's an error. That's giving the user choice, and I think it's important. So anyway, I'm probably overreacting. I am, for the most part, happy with V11, although I haven't used it that much. There are things that I don't like as much. I don't like how every time I turn on my vehicle, it has the screen of the car in front of me. I don't need that information every time, and if I want it, I'm going to pull it up, right? Other things like that, which I would change, but it's fine. It works. It's okay. I have a Model X. I have a bunch of old controls still in my car, so I can avoid using that center screen to control certain things. But I don't know that it's the right direction, and I think Elon believes that it is, and that is my concern. And he seems to go this direction on a lot of things for reasons that I don't really fully understand. So anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think Elon's right here and we shouldn't really have any control and the car should just make all these decisions for us and that our input is error? Or do you think input is choice? Do you want to see more? Do you want to be in control of what you do in the car? Do you want Elon to think about this a little more, I guess? I know he'll never watch this video and never see my opinions, but I still have them, and I wanted to talk about it. So, anyway, let me know what you think. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos by me, hit the subscribe button. This has been Brett from Surging Ahead. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.